What is going on, everyone? It's your guy, Cole Jackson, back here in Road Graders, powered today by BetUS, and we are going to be going through what I think was the biggest issue in this football game, the offensive line play being absolutely horrific. You're angry. I'm angry. We're going to look at it together. I know that nobody likes to watch these videos after a loss, especially going into a bye week. I want to just completely forget about football for a little bit, but we are going to break down a little bit this week, take a look at this loss, and really look forward to what do the Ravens need to do moving forward? What needs to be fixed? What issues need to be addressed over the bye week? Obviously, we're going to get into it. The Ravens guard play has been awful. There are two options sitting on the bench in Andrew Voorhees and Ben Cleveland. I don't know how you watch this film, and I'll go through it in depth with you today and not look at some alternative options. We've seen the Ravens do drastic things in the past. 2012, they fire their offensive coordinator. Mid-year, come in, new system, move Anquan Bolden into a completely different role. They go on a run, win a Super Bowl. So, I mean, it's been done before where they've made drastic changes, but will the Ravens do it? So, before we get into it, just a big thank you to BetUS. You can get the lines for Monday Night Football tonight. Broncos hosting the Browns 6-point favorites, over under set at 42.5. And you can get in on the action, get a little bit of extra money to make some bets at BetUS using promo code YouTube150. Go over there, throw in the promo code, and get some more money, bigger bets, bigger winnings, more money in your pocket. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring. Let's jump into this pass. So we're going to start with pass protection. We'll get into the run blocking after. So let's get into it here. I've tried to, at as many points as possible, give you guys play context in terms of down distance, time on clock. So starting here, this is 3rd and 5 on the first drive. So there's actually a penalty. So I'm going to show you the pass pro rep, and it got wiped out by defensive holding, I believe it was, on Maddox or DeJean, I think it was a slot corner. So, I mean, this play ends up getting erased, but the fundamental thing that we're going to look at throughout all these reps is one of the key issues with later in the game. The Eagles rush 4. They drop 7 throughout the entire fourth quarter. In doing so, you saw Lamar Jackson taking deeper drops and throwing into tight windows, and people are getting frustrated saying, why are we forcing the ball into tight windows? Why is Lamar dropping so far? It's because the first half, and I have 10 plays? 9 plays. 9 of the plays we're going to look at right here come in the first half. When you spend the entire first half with pressure coming up into your face, you start to drift back. And you can look at that as a Lamar Jackson problem, but it's an offensive line problem. And here's exactly why. So Lang owned it. But, fundamental issue here, McCary's going to get left one-on-one against Milton Williams. He's kind of their pass rushing defensive tackle that comes in for Jordan Davis. So you got Jalen Carter over there. And so you're going to see Linderbaum slide over and help on Carter. And this is going to be a pretty common thing. This opens up a lot of opportunities for Milton Williams, who's going to get that one-on-one with McCary. McCary starts this rep engaged quite well, hands in tight. And then you see right there, try and show that, just gets his hand pushed out. The inside left arm of Milton Williams pushes up into the armpit, and it slides McCary's left arm up right there. And then that creates the leverage, and you can see as he gets pushed back, he's now sideways in the pocket, easy path. And so the fundamental issue here is as Ronnie is getting beat to the outside, Lamar can't step up. So I actually had less of an issue with Ronnie's rep. So Josh Sweat here on the against Ronnie Stanley is going to, beat quote unquote beat Ronnie outside. But as you can see from this clip, it's not even a clean win because Ronnie's working him outside of the pocket. Even at this point, Ronnie's still got distance where Lamar should be stepping up. So the fundamental issue, even if I don't know who got charged with the sack, it might have been the sack might have gone to Sweat. I don't even know, or they split it. But there's no step up lane because McCary's bad guard play doesn't create that pocket. And once again, that pressure is coming constantly up into Lamar's face. So he's hesitant to step up into his throw. It costs him make chicken soup or make chicken salad out of chicken shit, whatever that saying is. And so here you're going to see Ronnie get beat cleanly on there. Lamar has to get outside the pocket, throw on the run, make throws harder than they need to be. And this is coming off a play action pass. Now we get into 2nd and 4 with who's 93? Momo? I don't even know. Against 93. And so McCary actually, look how fast he comes out of his set. Clean off the ball. Christ, almost a false start. Just completely misses his hands, loses his inside, loses inside post step or post hand, and just one of those things where you look at the defensive line alignment. So what they do, chaos caused from Linderbaum losing his rep once. So as soon as the snap goes, Linderbaum's going to lose that. McCary's going to try and help. Linderbaum's, moved around. McCary's pushing him, but defensive tackle's getting clean. So there's no step-up lane right here. Tyler Linderbaum's kind of fallen in it. And then as that's happening, Rosengarten comes around the edge, and you can see they were running a little mesh concept in front. So there was some check down lanes, but because this is coming so quickly up the middle and taking away that step up lane, again, nowhere to step up. So even though the pressure's coming off the edge, the issues crossing routes. Now we're at, sorry, I didn't give you guys check in. So this is the very next play, Q2 107, 2nd and 14 after the sack. Eagles going to start this as a pressure, but you can see McCary one-on-one, get walk back, and that's coming right into the throwing lane. So again, it's that constant feeling of not having a step-up lane, constant feeling throw specifically. Lamar is constantly Q2, 46 seconds, 3rd and 7. Laugh when people are carrying on about Lamar. It's Lamar this, Lamar that, Lamar this, Lamar that constantly. And yet you get this type of stuff where he has to, run in a circle and create something out of nothing. It's pretty constant. Q2, 31 seconds, still on the same drive. 3 pressures in a row. Or I guess you could, that second down one, maybe you could argue isn't a pressure. But we're having issues in our pass protection in the 2-minute drill. And so here we get the sack that pushed the ball back. And so we're going to take a look at, I believe, okay. I don't have a major issue with how this was handled on the stunt because the pressure is going to come from Ronnie Stanley. So edge is going to get bent. Lamar's going to have to step up. As he does, he has to step outside of the pocket. They just handled that stunt pretty well. But McCary is, he's created a pocket. So pause right here. They've handled that okay. It's not bad, that sack. But just, the issue there, interior handled that a little bit better. So even when the interior can have one of those plays. And so what happened on that one is it pushed them back from the Philly 19 to the Philly 32. So that drops them back significantly. They don't get another, they don't move the ball any further, but Tucker at least makes that. I'm going to show you both angles because a lot of people felt that Lamar held onto the ball, and I'm going to show you exactly what he's seeing and where he's looking. But we'll take a look at the offensive line here first, second, just to get this ball out because that wheel route is open. Right there, that's a touchdown. That is going to be a touchdown. I can see the safety here that was on likely is going to make this a tight window. But I think with Lamar's ball placement, he's going to place this at the pylon, and Zay Flowers is going to be able to run into it. But it would have been a tight window, though. I'll give it credit on that. See right there, as it develops, you can see the safety come off likely and start to see that. But again, the ball isn't able to come out because of the sack. And so Justice Hill's the one that. So that's what I have on the pass protection. When on the last drive where the Ravens did move the ball, so their 4-man rush and just dropping 7, and it causes those flat coverage. I'll probably put a video together that shows some of Lamar Jackson's throws specifically in the fourth quarter because that seems to be where people are complaining the most about Lamar in terms of turnover-worthy plays, but it's just in the game. It happened in the fourth quarter. Now we get into the run game here, and Derrick Henry thought he was leaving Tennessee because of bad run blocking, and then he came to Baltimore and he's getting some bad run blocking too. They have had some of the best yards before contact, so I mean that is also the Lamar effect, and they have had good run blocking in the past, but they just got their asses whooped in this game, and we'll take a look at some of these plays why. So you can see right here. And fundamental issue here, this is just going to be your basic power to the left. So you're going to get down blocks from Stanley, Rosengarten. They're in an unbalanced line here. You can see Falele is in at right guard and Andrews is in as right tackle, just in the alignment. And so they just need to push guys down the line and let Falele pull in behind. Nobody gets movement. Falele has nobody to pull into, doesn't block anybody. It gets stacked up. So fundamental issue there being when they want to be able to run power football, they need to be able to hit these down blocks. And so you can see bodies there. And I can look at that as a play calling issue too. Do I really want to be running the ball behind Rosengarten there, who struggles against power? I'm lining him up against, a guy like Jalen Carter. Is that really going to work? I can see that. But still, guys need to be able to line guys up and knock them back. And the Ravens offensive line just can't do that. And here we're just going to get a bizarre miss from Rosengarten. So you do sometimes leave players empty on these, but you can't not block Jalen Carter on this. So as the snap comes, Carter just swims, and Rosengarten doesn't even block him. Now, some people may look at this and say that's designed. The reason I know it's not designed is because watch Rosengarten. When you turn around and you look and you say, oh shit, what just happened? That was not on purpose. Or that's not supposed to happen. Rosengarten needs to hit that block. So he's lined up as basically a 3-tech. I guess that wouldn't be a 2-eye because it's not inside. Basically a 3-tech in between issues on one play. So again, let's start back. Let's take a step back. Fundamentally, left side of the offensive line needs to block down. They brought in 6. Oh my God, that's Josh Jones. So they bring in 6 offensive linemen. I didn't even notice this when I first watched. They bring in 6 offensive linemen, and this is the result. So they bring in Josh Jones to be the tight end. So you're going to get down blocks from Josh Jones down to Tyler Linderbaum. That whole left side is going to down block. You're going to get Patrick Ricard kicking out the edge, and then you're going to get Daniel Falele pushing. Ronnie Stanley and Patrick McCary end up blocking each other. So focus on 79 and 65. They both get stepped inside right there. And then look at Stanley's blocking McCary. How's that possible? And Falele has no one to pull into. Just, that's bad. The ball is a fundamental issue. They're going to try and once again ask Zay Flowers to come down and kick out the edge. They're in this. This is that 3rd and 2. It's 3rd and 2. So they bring in that another funky O-line look. So you can see Rosengarten's in at left tackle. Likely's there, and then you got Stanley outside, and they're just going to run that toss play. I think the alignment really killed them here because you can see the safety stepping up. They're seeing that unbalanced line, and they're playing it heavily. They're just motioning there instantly. So they're trying to hit these pick blocks where Stanley and Zay Flowers are going to down block. Then you get 3 pullers out in front, but, not going to work. Just asking your guys to do a little bit too much there, in my opinion. Motion across here. Daniel Falele with one of the biggest whiffs in this entire game. So this is just your basic outside zone, and it actually sets up really well. See, Patrick Ricard's going to cut off really well here. Roger breaks that tackle, but Daniel Falele, the one. This is if you want one play that shows why we need to take a look at both guards. The line of scrimmage is what does that be? 45. It's the 40-yard line. Watch where Falele and Patrick McCary end up blocking their guy. Both defenders are past the 40-yard line, past the line of scrimmage. This is a basic zone play. They're just running zone. Just inside zone, basic. Both of your guards are knocked back. Unacceptable offensive line play. Just unacceptable. So, anyway. That was a frustrating watch. If you guys are still here, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Again, that's kind of my breakdown. The Eagles own the line of scrimmage on defense all day. The Ravens O-line couldn't get anything going consistently. We'll take a look. I'll probably do this tomorrow. We'll take a look at part 2, kind of a Lamar Jackson 4th quarter look, taking a look at some of those passes because I know there's a lot of interest in them. But again, usually at the end of the game, we make analysis based on what we saw in the 4th and not what we saw in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And that's what was frustrating me. If you guys saw my rants on Twitter this morning, I've been pretty mad. Just because you can't pressure your quarterback like that for 3 quarters and then just be like, why is he drifting? He's drifting because he doesn't trust his offensive line. Fundamental issue. In some of these big games where the Ravens lose when the offensive line plays bad, this is what happens. And somehow Lamar Jackson ends up getting blamed. Just my take. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. Hit subscribe if you're new here. And thank you to BetUS for sponsoring this video.